Welcome to Deep Thought. The victim mindset is not empowering. And I wanted to talk about that because I had mentioned something about like that whole victim thing when you get a hater, you know, and like if you say something back to them, they try to act like a victim. You have some people out here who embrace being a victim. You have movements based on being a victim. You know, they'll say this group of people or this person did this to me. And because you do have a lot of stuff out there that, you know, people might feel sympathy for the victim, give them something, give them some attention and everything. And what the victim think is, oh, they subconsciously feel like this will be empowering, you know. And like they might get something, and it'd be like some little small things they'll get anyway. Or some attention, whatever. And it's like, oh, I'm a victim. I'm doing this. I'm going to tell y'all a story. I remember I actually tried to use that one time as a game. I tried to use that as a game when I was young. It was an ex-girlfriend I was trying to get back with, right? And I was trying to act all that victim stuff. Oh, this and that. She gave Rom none. And she actually tried to help. And I was like, that was the first and last time I did something stupid like that. It was stupid. I'm just going to say it's stupid. As I always say, you know, I ain't no guru on top of the mountain. And a lot of stuff I know because I went through some negative stuff. And I tell y'all not to do the same thing. You know, I'm giving you that lesson. I already been through it. So it was like, you know what? That ain't even work. Now, if I went in there like the winner that she used to deal with, shit, man, we probably would have had a good time. But that wasn't me. That's what I wasn't doing it right. But see, you got a lot of people, yeah, and, you know, it's deep why some people have it, because it usually starts in childhood. It usually starts in childhood. Like people putting them down because they could be a child and, you know, some parents, some adult figure, some authority figure put them down. Or tell them that they're stupid or anything. And, you know, unless something significant happens to change that mindset, it just grows on them. It just grows and it keeps going and they embrace it. Then all of a sudden they're adults. And, you know, and I've seen situations, like there was one situation, I ain't gonna call the person's name, but I saw how they would try to whine to get stuff. To people to do stuff for them. They'd be like, oh, I'm so this and that, and, you know. And, you know, it'll work a lot. Because, like I said, people feel sorry for them. Or sometimes people will just be like, you know what, I want them to shut up. Let me just do this thing for them. So they'll think it's all that. See, but the only thing about that catches up for a while. You know. It catches up for a while. It's like the example I would use of the dingy woman. The dingy woman. She's dingy and it could be kind of cute when she's 24. But it's annoying as hell at 44. So the person with the victim mentality, you know, you might get at 24, they'll get some people who try to help them out, try to take them in a different direction. But if they 44 or 54, they just got on somebody's nerves and they're like, wait a minute, why are you acting like a victim? You know? And it's not empowering. But like I said, there's movements out there that's focused on a victim ideology. Like, we're victims in this. I mean, I remember I saw a talk show, and it had some brothers on it, some black men, and they were trying to get designated. They had started a movement trying to get designated as an endangered species. And some guys tore into them. I would have tore into them. Because I'm like... Nah, if I got a problem with something, let's put it like this. My philosophy has always been, like, if you throw me in a hole, I'm not going to reach my hand up and say, oh, you threw me in this hole, help me out. I'm going to climb out that hole and beat the shit out your ass. In fact, you throw me in a hole, it'd be in your best interest to run at that moment, to get away. Because I'll climb out myself and track your motherfucking ass down. But that's just my mindset. I've never had a victim mindset, you know. And you got that. I've heard so many adults, they'll say, oh, we're this, or I can't do it because of this. That's a victim mindset, because how's it empowering, you know? Yeah, you might get a few things here and there, but people don't really give you anything unless they got they getting something out of the deal. Like, even when you get people out here who help like victims or something, you know, it ain't always just because of the kindness of their heart. It could be just their job, you know. And even the people who doing it out the kindness of their heart, they still getting something out of it, you know. But then you can't count on that always. You can't count on it, because a lot of people, just like you got people who help victims, you got other people who look down on them, won't do anything. So how's it empowering? Like I said, you could tolerate when they're young. And like somebody might take that person and try to show them a different direction. But when somebody gets old and has that mindset and shows that mindset, it's disgusting. It really is. It's disgusting, and you don't even want to be around that person, because one thing about victims, they tend to be very negative in their speech. Their energy tends to bring you down, because it's just like, wow, I can't deal with this. You know, it's like you came into the situation feeling good. They finished talking. You just like, wow, make you feel bad. In fact, another thing about some victims, they'll try to project like you going through the same thing. You know, they'll project, well, yeah, this happening. Yeah, it's happening for you too. It's like, no, it ain't. That's you, dog. That ain't me. You the one going through that shit. I'm going through something good. You know, I'm gonna talk about that. Just having a winner's mindset in the next podcast. You know, because this joint about thinking. This joint, Deep Thought, is about actually thinking about shit. Like victims, if they want to change it, they gotta actually sit back and think: is this actually working for me? You're in a bad situation. You complaining about it, but is it actually working to complain about it? You know, it's one thing to talk about it with a purpose of getting out of it. That's the only time you should really like talk with somebody or bring it up. Like you genuinely looking for help to get out of it, or some idea to get out of that situation, that mindset. That's the only time. But if you just like, I really dislike when somebody has that victim mindset, but they don't have solutions on how to get out of it. I really don't. And like I said, you hear that victim mindset with haters. You know, if you listen to their conversation, everything they talk about is a victimhood. Even if they don't use the word victim, it's victimhood. And they think they might, like I say, they get a little bit of attention thinking they're doing something, but that attention's temporary. Because after a while, when people deal with that, they might deal with them for a little while, but after a while, they're like, I can't deal with them. Like, haven't y'all noticed that with victims, people just get tired of them. They don't want to hear what they have to say or deal with. So how's that empowering? And so it's like, if anyone's listening and you've had that victim mindset, start working on it. Start working on it this moment. Don't even wait for the podcast to end. Just start working. Try to think, how can I get out of this? You know, you might have to follow the role of, check out some role models or something, see what they did. Read some stories about some people who went through some stuff. Do whatever. You might have to get therapy to deal with the reason why you had that victim mindset to begin with. There's nothing, like, just to be clear, there's nothing wrong with therapy. If you don't want to pay a therapist, find a trusted elder. If you don't have a trusted elder, find someone in whatever your spiritual path is. Find somebody. Find a good friend that you can like talk to, and they're not going to judge what you're saying. Whatever the case, you need first to get to the bottom of why it's even there, and then work from there to change it. And unfortunately, it could take years to change it, but the journey is worth it. Life's a journey anyway. So you want to get out of that victim. You want to get out of that victim mindset. Under no circumstances is it empowering. So that's all I got for today, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and many blessings.